Hello dear twin flames, this is the weekly reading for the week starting on 26th of June, so this is the last week of June. This is a general reading. If you want something more individual, there is a email address in my description box, so feel free to contact me. And I would like to thank you for your viewings, for your likes, for your messages and subscriptions, all your support in general. I really appreciate that. And one thing I would like to add before I start the reading is that of course when I speak about masculine or feminine, I mean energies, not I'm not being gender specific, so we all know that we have both masculine and feminine energies in us, and they can be more or less balanced. So if you're feminine, you can have, if you're female, you can be more masculine. If you're man, you can be more feminine. It's it all depends on how these energies are balanced. Okay, so let's get started. I can see really amazing energies for the end of the June. First of all, the important thing I would like to mention is that you need not to overthink anything and overthink what I'm gonna say here, overthink these messages that I have here for you. Because we know that our mind can be really creative, but creative not in a very good way. We can we can destroy with our mind our reality. We can create our reality, but we can also destroy it. So you need to be very mindful and try to be really positive, because like in the middle of the reading we have Nine of Tides, which is Nine of Cups energy, and Nine of Cups is a wish fulfillment. It's a wish upon a star that comes true. And this is what I can see from the energies here, both for the masculine and feminine, that there is a strong potential for some reunions, or in some cases for some really significant steps between masculine and feminine on this twin flame journey. But as I said, and it's a very important message here, don't overthink things. Just try to open yourself, open your heart, open your mind, and try to be receptive to what's coming, observative. Try not to really put too much thought into it. What I can see is that masculine is going to work a lot this week, but it's work that is related to the union, I feel. He may be also very engaged at the work front, of course, but I feel that there is, because we have a drowned, or it's in traditional tarot it's a hangman. He's withdrawing into himself, and he's looking into his soul. We have this soul card here, and I can feel that he's withdrawing into himself to look into his soul and to be honest with himself. And the truth is that he wants this union, he wants this love, but because of some past hurts and past experiences, it's not necessary that he was maybe hurt, but maybe there are other things that are stopping him from really giving himself into this union, into this journey, is that his past experiences about relationships may have been not the most supportive ones. Maybe he felt too much restricted, or he's basically, he may be afraid of losing his freedom. And it's worth to mention that if we have this understanding of love, let's say, that it's taking away our freedom, we're not actually talking about love, we're talking about some codependent relationship of people who are clinging to each other, who lose themselves to another person. And because when we're speaking about love, unconditional love, there is no restriction, there is just freedom, because freedom is love. And the masculine sometimes may have, because of his experiences, he may think that it can be too restrictive for him, whereas he wants to be free and he wants to be himself. The thing that we need to remember is that true love is really free. It's setting us free. It's setting us free from ego. It's giving us a lot of freedom. On the masculine side, I also can see cards that are really, very strong signs of unions. Usually, this is Two of Cups and Lovers. So I feel that another thing that masculine is going through now is that he looks into his soul, and he admits to himself that he wants this relationship, that he wants this union to happen. And the Three of Wands here, which is Three of Swords, is telling me that at the moment, because this is not yet manifested, this is not something that it's happening, he feels a little bit heartbroken. But it's not like he feels heartbroken by the feminine. He feels heartbroken because he knows that this delay or postponement, or whatever kept him away from this union, is in a way, in some part, it's his own making. So he knows that because of this very strong mental energy, because words are about more mental energy, because of the because of all this overthinking, because of sticking to the past, not being able to free himself from the past. He's still not in the union, and he feels a little bit heartbroken because of that, because he knows already now that what's on this journey, it's a beautiful experience. Not to say that it doesn't require work, because it does, of course, but it's a beautiful experience, it's a beautiful union, it's a connection that's beyond this, this world. And other thing I can see here is that there is a lot of blue colors. So I feel that there is a potential for communication. Blue color is, as we know, it's about the throat chakra, about communication. So I feel that there is strong potential for communication between masculine and feminine this week. I feel that it can happen in this third dimension. If not, then it's definitely gonna be some exchange of communication in the fifth dimension. Maybe something in the dreams as well. But there is some potential for that. But again, I need to remind you, and I put these cards here because this two of swords is like on the bottom of the deck, and I put it on top of all the spread. So at you know, every now and then I just need to remind you, because I feel that it's very important message, that you can't overthink anything here right now. Because one of the things, of course, that's keeping us apart is the mind, yes, the tricks of the mind, the tricks of the ego. So we really need to let this go, let the past go, and forget about all these things that happened in the past, and try to be really open for what's really coming, for what's really manifesting. And the feminine has some celebration coming. It may be some reunions with some friends from the past. In the last week we had the Wheel of Fortune, which is not typically the card for travels, but in that context and in that reading I felt that maybe with some of us there will be some traveling. So I feel that there is potential for celebrating on the feminine side. There can be also, the celebration can also be related to some new beginning on the feminine side. There may be some offer, there may be some new fresh start, some new work, some new project that is manifested in this physical reality, and that it's gonna you know, flourish for the feminine, and this will be the reason for her to celebrate. I can feel that feminine is very, very balanced at the moment, that the really heavy and tough energies that had been present here for months, they are actually not present in this spread at all. That from this all heavy energies came this energy of temperance, this state of bliss, bliss coming from harmony. I can also see that feminine is also ready for the union. This card, whenever I see this card, it's for me like Two of Cups. So it's speaking about the union, union in love. And I feel that feminine is ready for this union, and I feel that because there is this gesture of tides, which is Page of Cups, I feel that feminine is receiving messages, because we also have this blue colors here, and you know, there is a lot of blue color in the reading. So the feminine can receive the messages, messages about love, about affection. She may also, in some cases, with some of you, it will be that feminine will be delivering messages, especially that this is something that's coming from the feminine toward the masculine. There can be also different people approaching feminine with, you know, intentions of romance. I can see here this Page of Cups and here this Queen of Pentacles. So this can be that there will be people coming toward feminine with their love or affection. So for some of you, it's also possible that something like that's gonna happen. But in other cases, because we have this new beginning here and the celebration, it's bringing a lot of abundance and a lot of stability for the feminine. And because there is this also temperance, so it's sort of doubled, and she now feeling abundant, she feels that she has a lot to offer for the masculine, that now finally when she's stable, when she feels balanced, and when she doesn't have all these worries, all this dark night of the soul, and different fears and anxieties. She now comes from this place of balance when she's ready and she's open to meet the masculine. As if you were watching some of my readings in the last few months, you could see that there was a lot of situations where feminine was looking completely in the other direction, completely away from the union, and not really interested in the union. Now we can see that this is changing. That now feminine is really more ready than for the last few months to really meet the masculine on the same level, and because we have the love card, the lovers in traditional tarot here on the masculine side, we sort of can say that now the masculine, after all he's been through, after all the soul searching, he now is ready, like, to make a commitment to the feminine. Because in the past there was a lot of, as I said, a lot of fears of losing the, his freedom and all that stuff, of wrong understanding, and now because we have this Lover's card, Lover's card is can say, and I feel that it's the case here about commitment. So yeah, there is also this card from Sacred Rebels Oracle, which is number 14, Going Beyond Normal, and I would like to read the message. I will probably make break at some point to start another video, because for some reason my camera breaks video after 20 minutes or something like that, and it forces me to editing, and sometimes I lose, because of that I lose some few seconds in the video. So when you're watching my readings, you can see that there is some something that it's cut out. That happens unfortunately, and I apologize for that, but I don't know what to do with it with this. Okay, so now I will read the message. This is one of the longer ones, so try to relax and let's go. On the path of life, there are deciding moments where we can choose to go with the mainstream, or we can dare to take a bolder, more authentic and trusting way, even if it seems riskier or less safe. To rely solely on logic and science without incorporating the mysterious and magical is a recipe for an existence that is far too dry. The sacred rebel within our hearts will always choose a juicier approach to life. You are currently approaching such a choice point. You could say that the choice is about balance. It is less about choosing to honor either art or science, gardening or architecture, and more about integrating all approaches so that you enhance rather than hinder your life journey. Placing science or architecture above all else kills off the rebellious heart. Steadfastly relying on logic, proof, and a complete set of plans to measure and dictate outcomes will suffocate the soul. Basing decisions on limited factors with an imbalanced measure of success is unnecessarily limiting. This approach prevents us from living freely, spontaneously, and with trust, so that we can rebel against the need for things to go strictly according to plan. Choose to value decisions based on passion and instinct and trust in life enough to embrace it as an adventure and let it unfold as it will. There is a time and a place for logic, strategy, planning, and measurable outcomes. These are not bad tools to have, but we must be vigilant not to worship them or allow them to quash our less rational but equally valuable decision-making tools, intuition, feelings, and those things you know without knowing how you know them. The flowing inspirational energy of the heart may have no conceivable basic in logic or reason and still be uncannily accurate. To remain rebellious, we must not sacrifice the art of emotion, instinct, passion, and intuition for the science of logic and strict planning. On the other hand, gardening and art do provide us with a plan, albeit more loosely held. This plan still requires us to set aside time, to draw upon reliable methods, and to prepare with certain tools. However, there is also a healthy dose of organic flow, responsiveness, and trust in the creative process of bringing something to life. This leads to the cultivation of the most beautiful, abundant, and successful garden and the most vivid healing art. You are being asked to stay open to the intuitive approach in your life, your work, your creativity, as well as in your spiritual journey. The intuitive approach can be linked to the method of gardener or an artist. There is a sense of what might work where in a loose or even a detailed plan, but how the plan is carried out will depend on and respond to the flow of its surroundings. There is no need to control the situation, but rather to a desire to nurture an idea to fruition. You may have pressures around you, from the world or from your own conditioned nature, to do things according to the rules, to a deadline, or to the accepted mainstream view that you need a well thought out plan for success in a commercial venture. However, sometimes the best plan is to do what feels intuitively truthful in the moment and to trust that you're being led towards your own growth. Adopting this approach means you have to do far less planning and far more living. It is a pure and heart-centered way to manifest your art, your life path, and your essence into practical expression in the world. It involves a willingness to be led by nature instead of trying to control the powerful force of life, which is a bit like trying to fit a proverbial ocean in a teacup. It is far more intelligent to allow the ocean to be the ocean and to learn to swim in it rather than trying to cram it into a vessel that is much too small. This oracle brings you a special piece of guidance. You are moving outside of the plan. You are living on the border of what is socially accepted. This is good. This is fringe-dwelling freedom. Others might not see this about you straight away, as you seem pretty normal, but that secret eccentric streak is just waiting to show itself. And maybe you are an out and proud fringe dweller, completely comfortable with this way of being. Either way, this oracle brings you the message that you now have a chance to live from the heart more deeply and expressively than ever before. It wants you to realize that this is a legitimate, empowered, and creative way to live that honors all of who you are. You can give up forcing or squashing yourself down into a very limited set of so-called desirable qualities like intellect and control. If you're allowed to relate to this consciously, this oracle brings you the further message that you are going to be breaking with tradition. Perhaps not entirely, but at least in a way that is meaningful to you. This will require you to have courage in your convictions and faith in your heart truths. This will help you and inspire others around you to step out of fear and live more freely and lovingly. You are not necessarily meant to abandon logic and intellect altogether. You're to use them to serve the desires of the heart rather than to replace its naturally spontaneous and truthful nature with controlled planning and narrow strategy. It's time to get a bit wild and let nature take its course. And I will read the healing process now, and you need to say aloud, I now call on unconditional love and ask for the blessings of the heart to be witnessed and sanctioned by the great and universal Creator, so that I may rise above small-mindedness and use the best of what human culture has to offer in service to love. Through my own free will, so be it. Visualize or imagine the feeling of being in a most gorgeous garden. It might be well manicured, a little bit wild, or a wildly overgrown jungle. Just notice it. Notice how all the plants work together and how it is supported by nature and the seasons. Notice that whilst some things thrive, others fall away, only to shift again with the seasons. There is such organizational genius. Now say, may the wisdom and guiding hand of the great gardener who works with unconditional love nurture the garden of my soul into magnificence. I dare to live creatively from my heart and thrive. Finish your healing process by sitting quietly, dancing wildly, or doing a spot of gardening, whatever feels good. Yes, I think that there is a very strong message about what I mentioned before, and I was repeating during this reading, about not overthinking, so not overusing your intellect, trying to really follow your heart, trying to be, let yourself to be guided by your heart, by your guides and by the universe. Everything falls in place in the right moment. You just need to be patient. You need to be open for what's happening and for what's coming, and not only open but also willing to receive. Yes, and yes, I think this is all what I have to say. And yeah, I hope to have a nice last week of June. I will see you in the reading for July, I guess. I hope that this message could be helpful for some of you, and lots of love, and see you next time. Bye.